Yeah.
So once I went
For
there,
the viewers, like, do you recommend reading any books of Bhagwan? Because there is books of Who Am I and
Arya, who am I is there, self-inquiry is there, and Bhagwan didn't wrote many books,
no, I think
but I
Bhagwan didn't write any books. His devotees wrote the books.
yeah, no, Bhagwan answered, and those are written
Yes.
in book forms.
Yes.
But then there are a lot of talks, like Suri Nagamma has written, a lot of
Yes.
people have written. So you can write, you can listen to day by day talks which people kept writing when Bhagwan was answering questions. So those are also in English, in other in Indian languages.
Yes.
You can read those, but main teaching is to understand who you are, who am I, Nanyar,
Yes.
and do this self-inquiry. And
Yes.
self-inquiry is very easy. In self-inquiry, you stay as an uninvolved witness to what is happening in your life, in your thoughts, in your mind, in your emotions. Just be an observer, detached observer. Stay like that. What happens is, because of our tendencies, because of our attachment to things, we slip from this uninvolved witness and becomes involved in that ego role, in ego mode. But the practice is you come back and you stay as a detached witness to
Yeah.
everything happening. And this is the process, some people get it very easily.
Yes.
For some it might take time. The time it takes also depends on your attachment to things, your desires, your unfulfilled desires, and your attachments, nothing else.
What would
If
you
you
say? What would you say to people who say, like, okay, you're asking us to be detached, you're asking us to do the self-inquiry and things, who will do all this stuff? Like, everybody's running after money, we need materialistic stuff, we need all the houses, and you have to keep up in this life and all these ambitions and everything. If people do, I'm not saying this, I'm just asking you to answer for those who think like that. What do you think? Is there any
I
balance?
would say,
If you're doing
I would say the people who think like that, definitely this teaching is not for them. I would say,
stay
yeah,
away.
yeah.
Yeah, don't.
No, but one thing I want to tell you, this is the thing. Ego thinks I am doing, I am the doer.
The eyes.
I will take. We will get whatever is in our destiny.
Yes.
And
Oh my God. Yes.
the energy for to get that also comes for that.
Yes.
So this egoistic attitude can never get you to that
Yeah.
yourself. So if someone thinks like that, I'm not there to change their mindset. They
Yeah.
can stay like that.
Bhagwan never said that don't go and do your job or don't go and achieve things. He asked you to do those things by leaving that I did this, I and ego, understanding that this is not me doing it and doing it selflessly. That's what he is teaching us. So if you understand and do it, you'll actually do better at your job. Whatever the job you're doing, you actually do better. So my next question to you is, I'm sure you must have visited a lot of spiritual places in India, right? So what is the difference, would you say, in your feeling between Arunachalam and you already said that it is the end. Why do you think it is the end? Like, why?
You have to experience it. To know pudding, you have to taste the pudding. If you
Yes.
go there, you imbibe that bliss, then you know. Then I
Yes.
don't have to tell you anything.
Yes.
But just sitting here and saying, look, this is better because of this reason. I would say, for so many reasons, people or a tourist will not go there because the weather is extreme. There's no direct flight, and it's a simple town. It's a simple Indian town. It's not very flashy. Ashram life is very simple. But one thing I would tell you, nobody asks you for any money. There is no donate button or even on their website. And you stay, you eat and you do free. Where would you see something such a generosity and such a simplicity? Where do you see that? I have
Yes.
never seen. This is the beauty. This is the beauty. So there's no solstice. They are not asking for any money from anyone or any help or anything. But the divine help comes, and whatever way it has to go, it still goes on.
Yes.
So this is the thing. This is what we need to understand.
Yeah.
It is the blessing of Bhagwan, blessing of Arunachala. And same thing we should imbibe. We should, whatever comes in our life, just simply because of our destiny, accept it. But don't run for things, don't seek for things, don't, okay, you asked me that people want to get this, get that. I would just question these people that whom are they getting things? For whom? The answer would be for this body. This body will be dust in few years. It will be dust. And then
Yes.
where would you be? And you are feeding this body. I know people go for a coffee 20 miles and people want this cake. People want to, treat others badly because they want to show importance. What importance? This body will be dust.
Yeah.
This body, we are not this body. The moment you understand that you are not this body, all your actions will drop automatically.
Yeah.
Because see, from morning till evening, our actions are to pamper this body or its sense organs.
Yes, yes, yes. And this I is, I think, the most, I don't know how to put that word also. Like, I earned this money. It's mine, my house, my food, like, who are you at the end of the day?
This ego is a ghost, it's an illusion,
Yeah.
And the problem is that our identification with the body keeps this ghost alive. The moment we ask, who am I? The answer might come that I am this body. Then say, who is this? Who is saying, I am this body? Who is this I? Then the answer will be, I am that I. But who is this I? The moment you ask this question deeply, this I vanishes.
Yes.
It runs away. And the only thing is left is that emptiness, nothingness.
Yes.
And that nothingness is everything, actually. That emptiness is everything.
Yes. Yes. So you brought up, there is no Arunachala without, like, when you speak about Ramana Maharshi, you have to speak about Arunachala Shiva. He is considered as the Subramanya Avatara, which is the Kartika Avatara, Ramana Maharshi, because he calls Shiva his Appa. He doesn't call Shiva as Shiva, he calls him Appa. Appa in Tamil means father. So what did you experience in the Arunachaleshwara's temple? What was your experience when you first saw Shiva? Like, in the temple, I know that the hill itself is Shiva, but in the temple, what was your experience like?
In the temple, I would say in the Garbhagriha, it is very, very hot. It is full of energy.
It is.
You can't stay there for too long.
Yeah.
So that is that. But everywhere they say is a shivling. Every stone in Arunachala is a shivling. So it is imbibing with that pure energy. But you should have those eyes of wisdom to see it.
Yeah. And I think
So,
there is this saying where it goes like, only with Arunachaleshwara's permission you can enter Arunachalam also. You can't just go to Arunachalam. You need his permission. So as you said also, like, the Garbhagriha is hot. It's not hot because of the weather or anything, because it's the fire linga.
yes.
Trust me, until you enter the Garbhagriha, everything is normal. But the heat radiates so, like, you can't stay there for a long time. And he just pulls you towards him. I had a lot of magical experiences in Arunachalam. I'm like, I just forget myself whenever I speak about him. It's like, for me, I call him Appa too. I call Arunachaleshwar Appa too. I don't know why I do that, but I just love him so much. So tell me your experiences when you're doing Girivalam. A lot of people talk about Girivalam is the most important thing you do in Arunachalam, because Ramana Maharshi, Bhagavan, he always asks people, whoever came to meet him, like, did you do Girivalam? Did you do Girivalam? So tell me about Girivalam a little bit, and then your experiences while doing Girivalam.
I'll tell you one of the times when I went with my family. At airport at Delhi, I had a very bad back pain, very severe. I could not even sit in the plane properly. And then when we came, and we had only one night there, so I was not sure what will happen. But I thought I will just do Girivalam, whatever happens. Morning, I woke up and I had no clue what happened to that pain and everything. And I finished all. And my wife said, "You cannot do it. You can't even sleep. You can't even sit." So this is the grace. This is the kripa. This is Sharanagati. You just stay in that. And when we do, Arunachala is on your right. We do clockwise,
Yes.
when something is of higher power. And you will notice that no sadhana can get you to yourself as quickly, as easily, as calmly as just doing a Girivalam. Bhagwan not just told people to do Girivalam. He himself used to go with everyone in early days to do Girivalam. And you will not believe that people used to give Diksha to Bhagwan, and after that it was a ritual that Bhagwan will go with them to do a Girivalam with them. And Bhagwan always used to say that you should do Girivalam like a a heavily pregnant lady, very, very slow, and
Slowly.
not much.
Actually, Bhagavan used to do it for 3 days, sometimes 5 days, sometimes, because he used to rest. Nowadays, it's like people finish it in 5 hours maximum. But Bhagavan used to sit in places and he used to look at him, and he used to describe the Arunachaleshwara, the hill, as Dakshinamukha, like the Panchamukha at one place, and then Dakshinamurti at one place. And there is this, I don't know, I think we must have heard this story where Bhagavan was walking down the hill somewhere, and he said that the whole hill itself is Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is none other than Shiva in tapas, in his penance. So, yeah. So, did you meet anyone while doing Girivala? Because now also, for the viewers, to this day and time, I know Ramana Maharshi is not in body there anymore, but he is there as a samadhi in Arunachalam. Today, there are beings whom we cannot describe. They are like the ultimate sages and saints you can meet in Arunachalam. Did you get to meet anyone like that?
When you're doing walking and when you are alone, you can always feel that there is someone walking with you. But I don't want to say more than that. Some things.
I know, because I have a story. My family got
Actually,
experience.
spirituality is a matter of craziness only.
Yes.
Only crazy person can get into spirituality.
So we are crazy.
Samsari cannot.
Yeah. So did you meet anyone? So did you get that feeling that somebody is walking with you? Okay. Because I heard a lot of stories. There are these very good people who speak in Telugu also, which my language is too. That where sometimes there is this lady who got hurt. There is this person called Chaganti Koteswara. He's very good. He talks about all kinds of spiritualities. And she got hurt, and some lady, she suddenly came from the forest. The hill it's surrounded by forest, right? And then she tied up from the sari. Immediately she tied up the foot of that lady, and she vanished. She just came from nowhere. Nobody knows. And there are a lot of experiences devotees got like that in Arunachalam. Me, myself, I was walking up the hill to go to Skandashramam. It was COVID time. So I crossed that mango tree guha. And then I went up to Virupaksha cave and I sat down for meditation. This guy, you won't believe me, he was at about 75 years old or something. He brought a big stick. I never told this in front of the camera before. Today, I really want to share this experience because, trust me, it's real. He came and he put the stick in front of me like tongue. He made a sound and he said, "I came for you." I'm like, "What? Who are you?" And then my husband gave him some money. He thought that somebody, they just want some money. He just pushed away the money. He said, "I came for her. I came to take her up there." And he said, "Meditate for some time." He stood there. He made sure I take my steps properly until Skandashramam. He was like, "Put your foot here, put your foot here." Because we went up from Shakti Theatre. Do you know Shakti Theatre behind? Not from Ramanashramam. There is another way towards Shakti Theatre behind. And I went to Skandashramam and he asked me to sit and meditate. And he said, "Do you want to see Shiva?" I hold his stick and then he brought me to the place where, this big rock where you meditate and you can see the whole temple and the top of the hill. And he said, "Look at Shiva." I was crying continuously. He took out a pouch from his pocket, and it was a pouch of cheetah print pouch. That leopard print pouches. He took out the vibhuti, which is the bhasma. He put it on him and he put it on me. And he said, "From here, I can't come. You just go." I'm continuously crying. And that day we went to the temple. It was a blissful experience. My son, he's in Australia. He doesn't know all this stuff. He ran back and hugged that guy and came. I asked him, "Why did you do that?" He said, "I don't know, Ma. I felt like he's not someone from this world. I felt like he's someone, he didn't have an answer for that." I shared this experience also because I really wanted to share this with people from very long time, because I want them to understand that it's real. I am skeptical too. I am a logical person too, but it's real. Arunachalam is real. Shiva is real. I don't know, I may sound crazy, but I really want to put this out there and say that I did experience stuff like that.
Look, I hear stories every day. Someone who comes, something miracle has happened. Miracles has to happen. There's so much of energy there. Recently, one of my friends who went there and he had no clue where to go, what to do. And this old man came, met them around Virupaksha, took them all around, showed them everything. All the time they thought he might rob them or he wants money. And he even paid for their auto and some water and all. And then when they were looking into their wallets to give some money, and they were a bit of scared also, he disappeared. They said there was no one there, and then suddenly they couldn't see him. And so he was talking at Bhagwan Jayanti Day among everyone.
Yeah.
So all these things happen. Bhagwan, in his times, whenever they used to have any festivities, Bhagwan used to serve everyone. And people used to say that we will serve. He said, no, I know who comes. I have to meet. There are siddhas, there are yogis. And we all know that on the southern part of Arunachala, um, Arunagiri Yogi, Shiva himself is there,
Yes.
under the
Yes.
banyan tree. And once Bhagwan wanted to go there, and then he gave up that because of all that, But
Yeah, because he didn't want to disturb the place, the serenity of the place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I would say, rather than getting more interested in what these miracles and things happens, main thing is to know yourself, which is because mind can be interested in these things, but not that ultimate reality which is in us. That is what it gives you. That is the biggest siddhi, getting you out of the birth and death cycle.
Yeah. But do you ever wonder, like, for someone like 6 months ago or 3 months ago, someone who did not go to Arunachalam, who never heard of that name, suddenly you've been to the place, and the pull it pulls you with, that's like the ultimate. And then you start your self discovery, like then you start understanding the life, and then what's happening, what's the reality, and what's the truth. Do you think the journey, how do you describe the journey as? It's not easy. I don't think it's easy. What do you describe the journey as?
I would say that someone who is really inquisitive and longing to know that Shiva in your heart should go on this journey. Otherwise, you will be left in between the two, as a sansari, as a worldly person, and detached. And then a lot of people struggle between the two. You have to choose one. You have to make your choices very clear.
Yeah. Can you please tell me how you're balancing it? Because you're still in
God balances everything. You don't have to. If you balancing, then you are keeping your ego alive.
Yeah.
If I take the responsibility of balance.
That thought, I just wanted to hear that thought, even that, see, me, I believe that even me speaking to you is decided by him. Like, I leave it to that state of like, I wish everyone, I'm really in my small stages and small steps of, trying and touching Shiva's feet and touching Bhagwan's feet. I would wish that he would put me in that place for all this life, and I want to touch that feet ever. If it's not too close, it's fine, but just that is good. So how do you relate it, being a doctor, your scientific mind and this mind, does it ever collide and make you confused? Not now. I understand now it's not going to do that anymore. I understand that. In the beginning, how did it work?
Look, I think if you see, he is the source. Shiva is the source even of our mind. Mind has no separate existence. If he doesn't want that mind to operate, mind will not operate. In Bhagwan's time, there were people who were really good poets, but the moment they saw Bhagwan, they stopped, could not do in the Venba meter or that poetry. They just lost it. And then there were people, after knowing that self, they started doing bhajans and prayers and everything. So who controls mind, and who controls destiny, and who controls our life? It is that absolute only. When you have complete faith on that, then it takes care of it. You can check on Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita written by Sri Krishna, chapter 9, you look verse 22, in which he clearly says that you just pray me, you bhaj me, you just remember me, and I will take all your responsibilities on my shoulder.
Yes.
He doesn't say that I will grant you some. He says he will take care of you. He will make sure for your safety of whatever you have, and I will also make sure that your needs are fulfilled. That is Bhagwan Krishna is saying. I'll tell you another example. Tulsidas ji, who wrote Ramcharitmanas.
Yes.
So he was a simple person living in a hut. So some rich person one day brought some grocery or whatever he brought and put it in hut. So two thieves were seeing that this rich man has come and is kept there. So he thought, those two thieves thought that they will take out this all at night, when Tulsidas ji would be sleeping, because thieves are thieves. They don't care whether you're a saint or a rich man. So they decided that at night they both came to rob him. So the moment they came, they found there were two young men, one a bit of a dark complexion, one a fair, and both having an arrow and bow and revolving around the hut. So they thought, oh my God, he's got security guards. So they both then thought they will come after maybe a couple of hours. Then they came a couple of hours after that. Again, it was the same. They came second night. Again, it was the same. They were so scared, and they came next day. They thought it is, I don't know how come we cannot rob them. So they told Tulsidas ji that, we came with that bad intention, but please excuse us, and this looks like some miracle, and please help us. And Tulsidas ji started crying. He said, for this small amount, I am creating trouble to God. Ram and Lakshman are at night doing all this for me. He said, you take away, I'll just distribute to the villagers.
Wow.
So this is the thing, when you have faith, you are remembering the God. God takes care of everything.
Yeah.